guys, how are you all? So I was on what was I on? I was on People magazine just now, and I saw this really interesting article about Meghan and Harry's trip to Nigeria. And apparently Meghan had this really proud wife moment where she said, "See why I married him." And that was just like so precious. So precious, right? It says here that the Duchess of Sussex praised her husband after he delivered a speech about mental health. And you know what? It's so appropriate because, I mean, for heaven's sakes, these people can destroy your mental health in 2 seconds if you let them. You know what I mean? But you can choose not to let them, and you can, focus and just keep in mind what's important, and what's not. What's not, you can just, ignore. So anyway, I thought their first outing, that the outfits were absolutely spot on, perfect. You know, you can't say she's sort of, cosplaying Nigerian, um, fashions or style, but at the same time, she dressed appropriately. It was still, the long dress is still very appropriate, and the necklaces, I'm sure there's a meaning to them. Maybe they say it in the article, but very, very appropriate. The color was also nice. It wasn't too loud so as to sort of take away from the moment, the message, everybody else around. It just was perfect. Very elegant, very graceful. I love how slim she is. I wish my slim days are behind me. Doesn't matter what I do, I can't ever be that slim again. And it's like heartbreaking. But she's keeping hers for a while. I mean, I kept mine for a while. I was skinny up until, I would say 5 years ago. I started to blow up like a balloon. I started to explode. But in my defense, for my age and for how my contemporaries look, it's not too bad. I didn't do so badly. But it takes a lot of effort, after a certain point. I think you can relate to that if you're a female. For most of us, anyway, I would say anytime after 25, you better start paying attention. And if you can maintain that into your 40s, good for you. But anyway, I digress. I am a digresser. I digress all the time. All the time. I'm sitting in my window right now, just enjoying the view. I won't go into any more details about that, but just enjoying the view and reading articles, listening to some jazz music, sipping some wine, that kind of thing. It's a lucky moment for me. I mean, life is not always going to be like this. I fully appreciate that. And so I today was very, today, like, since I woke up this morning, I was really in appreciation mode for my life as it is, as it has been for some time, and realizing that I can't take this for granted. You know what I mean? Don't take anything for granted, because so precious, so precious. I digress. So Meghan is a proud wife, right? Hey, by the way, did you guys hear that she flew from LA to London to meet Harry, and then they flew to Nigeria together? I read that in a French paper. Could that possibly be true? Because if that's true, then that's kind of like a kick. You know how the zebras, they like to kick. When zebras are kind of like horses in that they kick you. They give you the back kick, but the back kick of a zebra can kill versus the back kick of a horse. You can survive the back kick of a horse, but if a zebra kicks you with the back kick, they can literally kill you. They can kill a lion. That was a back kick from Meghan, like a zebra's back kick, because if she indeed flew to London to pick up Harry to go to Nigeria, whew, I mean, I'm sure I will hear a lot more about that if that were true. I don't have any way to substantiate it, but I think I saw it in a French paper just now, just like a few minutes ago. And I'm pretty sure I was not hallucinating. I mean, it's possible I was hallucinating. I don't think I was. Okay, that's it. So what did it say here in People magazine? So it says here, so Meghan says, see why I married him? I mean, for heaven's sakes, because I guess she's saying that, he's a sensitive man, a kind man, a man who, he thinks he's a thinking man. He thinks about others. He thinks about the things that are important in life. You have some men, it's like, or even women too, who, what are you talking about? Like, honestly, because what you say is what you're thinking, and some people, I mean, I guess we all have our moments where we say things that are not appropriate, obviously. I mean, I'm queen of that. But at the same time, it's like there's some people that, their whole mindset is like for the love of God, you know what I mean? It's like people like, who can I think of in the public eye? Um, I don't even know. There's some people, I mean, it's like 1 second of their work on YouTube and you run for your life because, it's like what they think about is so evident and it's like nothingness, they don't think of anything. There's no depth. You know what I mean? Give me some depth, for God's sake. I want to learn something from you when I'm in your presence. And so, so I think with Harry, Meghan has found someone that she learns a lot from. And I think with Meghan, Harry has found someone that he learns a lot from. You see what I'm saying? So it's a very balanced relationship. They both bring something completely different to the table, and yet in some things they are very, very much alike. And that's why this works. They just understand each other. They get what each other is all about. And then they're just so ridiculously stylish on top of it. I mean, just look at her and him together. I mean, and I don't want to compare, but you know, who can answer this honestly in that ghetto in London where those people, you know, perpetrate their evil, spiteful acts, honestly. I mean, I have to say it as it is, right? I can no longer bite my tongue on this. It's like horrible the way they sit and they plot to hurt and to harm. But it's kind of like water on a duck's back with these two. And I think they make each other stronger, which is really important, I think, to have a partner who makes you stronger and you make your partner stronger as well. But at the same time, they're very strong separately also, you know? It's just refreshing. It's so breathtaking and so inspiring, to observe these two. So anyway, that's about it for this one. So they visited a school, and I just think that this is the first trip was absolutely perfect. And then there's this one here now getting her tan, getting her suntan and her vitamin D's with her backless dress. She likes her back, and let's give it to her. She has a very nice back. Okay, she had a backless dress for her wedding. Like the second dress was backless. Okay, so that's the first time we got a real glimpse of the back. And recently, when she was in Florida, I believe, at the polo game, the charity polo game for Santibale, she wore a backless dress as well. And now here in Nigeria, it's a backless dress. And the thing about this particular dress is that if you look at it from the front, you would never guess that it has the back out. You know what I mean? Because typically you'd have a halter neck for a backless dress, but this dress looks completely demure and, very understated. And then she turns and you're like, oh, okay, right? There's this dichotomous effect that is very, very interesting. And And her husband looking all cool and uncontrived and just, just appropriate in his rolled up sleeves and light blue linen. It looks like a linen shirt, I don't know. And I'm sure that it's quite warm in Nigeria. I've never been there. I've never been there, but I'm assuming that most of Africa is hot. That's where we got the tan, the permanent tan from. The permanent tan that we all sport in the world comes from the weather there. And so yeah, so what else can I tell you about this, my darlings? I mean, I'm sure there are other outfits to come, and each one will be delightful in its own way. I'm sure as I speak, Angela Levin is, or Levine, or whatever, Angela Latrine Levine, Latrine Levine hyphen, okay? I'm quite certain that she is, sharpening her knives as we speak, right? And we'll hear her take and the rest of them as the day progresses into the rest of the weekend, right? And next week, Monday, whatever. Although, I mean, you would think that they'd be more concerned with William because he's off on his own trip. But anyway, whatever. That's it for this one. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.